Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Loose Transistor channel. I'm your host Lucas and we're back here to do part 2 of our Kalman filter setup and tuning video series that we started last week. Let me just show you guys this real quick here. Whoop, see that? Yeah, that's my frozen window. I'm gonna see if I can open it. Oh yeah, we can open it. So you can see outside, it's freaking damn cold. It's been snowing and the temperature dropped to like something like 25 degrees in the past couple days, so it went from being 10 degrees Celsius to being minus 20 degrees Celsius today. And we're gonna try and go outside and tune. So I don't know how well that's gonna work out because it is a bit windy. And you really gotta appreciate that about 150 years ago, some people came here to this place and they settled here supposedly in the summer when it was easy to travel. And yeah, it was awesome. And then winter came. And after that, they were like, yeah, I'm gonna live here. I don't know. Anyway, so it's super cold, super windy, but we're gonna try to go out there and do the tuning for the quads that we flashed Betaflight 3.3 and have the Kalman filter enabled. So other than doing the flashing that I talked to you guys about in the other video, I have not changed anything. We're gonna go out there and tune it from the ground up. So we'll do a maiden and all that good stuff and then walk through the tuning. Before we got to that though, I want to clear up a few questions that I've been getting on YouTube and a few things that people have been mentioning. So I figured I'll clear them up now and then we can talk more about the other stuff. So one, yes, you can use Kalman filters and Betaflight 3.3 on your F3 boards. Just make sure you keep it at 4 kilohertz loop and gyro update rate. More than that, it's not going to work out for you, okay? What else? People have been complaining that certain boards don't work, and yes, that is the case. It's not the final release yet. This is all very beta, so not all FCs are going to work. Some of the more popular ones should work. It seems like the CL Racing F4s work fine, and the Omnibus F7 so far has been okay. So we'll see when we actually get out there to fly. The other thing that I've been hearing about a lot, people are being like, oh yeah, D-Shot, multi-shot, there's no D-Shot commands. There's not much we can do about it right now. The reason why multi-shot is being chosen to work with Kalman and the 32 kilohertz gyros is because multi-shot is still faster. Now D-Shot is cool and all, and it's all digital protocol, blah blah blah, D-Shot commands, but it's still not as fast as multi-shot. Multi-shot at 32 kilohertz is faster. So that's pretty much it. Basically, from what I heard from Kalman or RS2K, is that you want the communication between the ESCs, flight controller, and motors to be as fast as it can. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna load up all my gear in the car. We're gonna go out of the field and meet you guys there. All right, guys, here we are at the field. I got all my gear all set up. I have my laptop set up here next to me. We are talking from inside the car because, as I said, it's way too freaking cold out there. If you can hear a little whooshing sound, that's the heat. So I'm sorry, I'll try to clear that up in post. But yeah, we're here. We're about to go maiden this fella right here, the 5-inch with the F4. So just so you guys know, these are 2207 2600 kV motors. It's a CL Racing F4 and really nothing too special about it, just a VTX03 and an HS1177. So we're gonna maiden this with the stock settings. It's cold as hell. I'm hoping that it's gonna work out okay and that I don't have to leave the comfort of my car to go pick up this quad. So first things first, I'm just gonna set up the computer here real quick. So I brought like a lot of batteries. I think I have like 20 batteries here, and I'm hoping that's going to be enough batteries to do the tuning. And the reason I say I'm hoping is because it's so damn cold. I'm not sure how much flight time I'm going to get out of these ones. And as they sit outside in the cold and come back in, it gets worse and worse. So that's going to throw off my PID tuning a little bit. So I'm going to be a little bit more diligent about swapping out batteries. So maybe I'm probably going to do maybe 1 or 2 flights. This is probably going to be a full flight because we want to check it out and see how the craft flies on maiden. And we'll go from there. So here we go, let's plug in. All right, video looks good. Here we go. Can see a little bit of fluttering, not to be unexpected though. Some of those D gains are a little bit higher than I like. But it's not, honestly, it's flying almost as well as my other 2.2s. Oh, a little bit crazy there on the yaw, so the yaw is a little bit too much. Let's try the... Yeah, some prop wash. Not to be unexpected. But it flies well. Nothing really to complain here. Flies pretty stable on the stock settings with the Kalman filters. No real remarkable difference here as of yet. We're gonna find out more when we actually go around to tune it, right? So far, so good. No problems. Quad hasn't exploded and hasn't melted down. a little bit wobbly, so probably need some anti-gravity. Let's test that right now. Maybe it's just the eye gain. All right, let's bring it back and let's start tuning this thing, because it's pretty damn close, I have to say. It's not bad. Even the full throttle on the 5050C is better, I have to say. Usually when I do full throttle with stock settings on 3.2, quad flutters like crazy, makes all this crazy amount of noise, but not here. Alright guys, so that was our first flight. As I said there, narrating through the flight, it felt pretty good. Nothing mind-blowing, nothing that's gonna, you know, like, oh my god, this is the newest, hottest thing ever, but we are using the stock PIDs, and it is a little bit windy today, so I wasn't expecting something that mind-blowing. However, the one thing that I do like is that now, when I full throttle, alright lady, chill out there, yes, on the bi-blades. So the problem that I've been having on the bi-blades since 3.2 is that with stock settings, when you gun it, when you do a full throttle run, the whole thing shakes a bit, and you can hear it fluttering on the props. So I know that this is a little bit better already, because when I did full throttle, I did not hear any of that fluttering. So that's fantastic. So we're gonna put another battery on here in a second, but first we're gonna adjust some of the PID tuning. So let's do that right now. The PIDs on the stock settings are, for the roll, 46P, 45I, and 20D, which is actually close to what I usually do for mine as well. The pitch is a bit high for me. It's 61P, 55I, and 20D. I actually like my integral to be a little bit higher because I like my quad to behave fairly robotically. I don't like when it goes further than what I expect, so I'm going to be bumping those up too. And yaw is at 60 with integral of 55. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to crank down pitch P to... I'm going to pitch P to about 50, and I'm going to crank up roll P to 50 as well. So I'm running 50-50 on both axes. Yaw is going to remain the same at 60. We're going to go integral 60 across the board because that's what I like to run. And the derivative, I'm actually going to knock that down to 17 on both axes, pitch and roll, and we'll go from there. So 60 on integral again, 17 on the D. And then for yaw, integral 60 as well. Boom. All right. So let's save that. And I'm actually going to bump up anti-gravity from 350 to 380. Everything else is going to remain the same. Gain is going to remain the same. So yeah, let's give it another whirl. Already feels better. Props are a little bit more fluttery though. That's probably because I reduced D-gain. It's not bad. Good control. See that? That's pretty bad. So when I cut the throttle, it tries to drop pretty quick. Oh, yeah, there it goes again. Maybe air mode's not working? Yeah, something to do with air mode for sure. Okay, so that's funny. Alright, seems like that was actually my mistake. I forgot to set air mode. So we have air mode set up now. We're going to do that flight again. We still have some battery here. So we'll test it again and see how it goes.
Disarmed. Armed.
That feels better, yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Now we can cut the throttle and it stays exactly like it should. Wow, this is feeling pretty good, guys. I have to say, it's very close. There's no little bit of prop wash on full throttle. It starts to oscillate a little bit. There, you can see it there. It's not terrible, though. We can probably fix that too, so we'll try that. Let's check the... A lot less prop wash already. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so actually probably what we need now is just a little bit of TPA to clean it up. I'm gonna bump up the P gain a little bit more too because I think we can get away with it. So we'll try that. So I'm increasing TPA to 0.13. It's a very small amount. We'll see how that does. And I'm changing pitch. I'm changing pitch P and roll P to 55. And then derivative, I'm gonna knock up, actually I'm gonna knock down to 16 and 16. We'll go back up if we need to, but I wanna try it lower right now. All right, let's try another flight here. Looks like everything is going pretty smoothly so far. The tuning is not very hard. It reminds me a lot of the early versions of 3.2, which I really quite liked because they flew very well with my biblades. And I think that we're returning to that with these new fast Kalman filters. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, these are nice, but they're not anything like that mind-blowing. It's not a huge difference. It's really very similar to what PT1 was when I was really enjoying it on my biblades. So let's try this again. Let's do another little flight here with these settings and we'll go from there. And just so you guys know, this quad is running 8 kilohertz and it is using multi-shock, so let's go. Not sure if P gain is too high or D gain is too low now, but I can definitely get some fluttering a little bit, not terrible. Yeah. TPA did not assist that much on max throttle, still not great. It's minor though, and you don't spend that much time in max throttle, so we'll see. Quad feels great though. Okay, let's try running up D gain a little bit. I'm gonna leave pitch P. Sorry, I'm gonna leave the P gains as they are right now. I'm just gonna try to play with derivative. So we're gonna use the same battery. I'm just gonna disconnect it here because I don't like tuning my PID gains with this stuff connected because it's dangerous. I'm actually gonna knock yaw P down just a couple of points to 58. I'm gonna see if that's not part of what's causing my quad to vibrate so much. If not, we'll go up. All right, here we go with derivative at 20 and the P gain still at 55 on both axes. I has not changed, it's still 60. That's what I like to run. So here we go. Ah, yeah, there we go, baby. Much better. So derivative of 20 seems to do the trick here. Now I am testing more of a racing type tune because that's what I do mostly. Let's try some prop wash. Not bad. I think bringing the yaw P down was actually good. It was actually a good thing here. Definitely seems to have helped that yaw mid-throttle oscillation going on. So we're gonna do one more battery. I think this is probably gonna be the last one. And here we go. Let's do the settings real quick. So now what I'm gonna change mostly is just D gain. Actually bump it up 1 or 2 points. All right, here we go. So we're gonna go up to derivative on 22 on roll, 22 on pitch, 22 on roll. I'm gonna leave it at 21 on pitch. I'm gonna bring down yaw to 57, and I'm gonna bring up pitch P to 56 and roll P to 56. Here we go. We're gonna do our test here. Hopefully one of the final ones. Let's give it a whirl. Nope. Let's go back to where we were before because it was a happier place. Okay, so I didn't like how that was flying. It actually brought up more oscillations than it was before. So I'm gonna go back to the values that I had before with the, especially with the derivative, because I'm pretty sure that's where it's mostly coming from. So here we go, configuration, PID. We're gonna go back to 20. I'm actually gonna go to 19, 19. I'm gonna go back to 55 on both. I'm gonna leave yaw at 58, back to where it was before. Let's do one more flight. I think that's gonna be the best I can do today because it is pretty cold and I'm burning through batteries here. I have another quad to tune, so we'll try that one too. I would say that right now, successful in getting to a 90% tune. There's like a little bit of that high throttle oscillations that I need to clean up at some point, but it's gonna take too long, so I'm not gonna do that today because it is freaking cold. All right, here we go. Last flight on the F4 Betaflight 3.3 running Kalman filters. Alright guys, so there you have it. We tuned our first Kalman filter setup. I have to say there's still some shortcomings on that setup, which is mostly derived from the mid-throttle and high-throttle yaw oscillations, I believe. They're very, very small. They might be really difficult to notice on the video, but I do see them. So this wouldn't necessarily be a great freestyle quad as it sits right now, though there's other ways you can dampen that. It's great for racing. It behaves really well. I like how it flies. It seems to be very, very locked in. So now we're going to be doing the second quad, which is the F7, and I'll give you guys my take on that. So far, I have to say that Kalman filters are nice. They're not as groundbreaking as I had hoped, or the performance is not that huge of a shift. However, what I do like about it is that my bi-blades seem to be working fine again. I don't have all that crazy sound every time you try to take off or do anything. So I'm pretty happy about that. One more thing that I forgot to tell you guys during the tuning process here is that I have been checking the motor temperatures. However, it is minus 20. So, I mean, they're not getting warm. They really are not getting warm at all. They're landing cold. So make sure you do this and check your motor temperatures, and make sure you do this again and retune it before the weather gets warm, because you want to make sure that you're not going to burn up your motor. So do some hovers, do some tests, get the temperature and adjust accordingly. So drop your D gain if you need to, or turn on more filtering if your quad is really noisy. But again, for a quad that's really damn beat up and has been through a lot, this is flying pretty nice on the Betaflight 3.3 Kalman. So let's do the F7, because that's the quad that I have that really flies one of the smoothest. I'm not sure if it's the 32-bit ESCs or if it's the F7 itself, but this quad has really always flown very, very well. It's not super fast because I'm not using super crazy fast motors on it, but it flies really, really nicely. So again, we're gonna do a maiden right now with the quad as it is. This is the stock settings, just like we did the maiden on the other guy there. So we're just gonna do a flight, see how it feels, and go from there. All right, here we go, fellas. Maiden on the F7.
Armed.
This feels pretty damn good. Wow. It's damn windy right now, but this quad has zero of that. Look at that, amazing. None of that oscillation, zero. So this is almost like pretty damn good to go as it is. It's flying way nicer than the other quad was. Here, I'm gonna do a thing here. I'm gonna stop here and we're gonna go up with throttle very, very slowly, go through the whole range and then just go up. There we go. Pretty much no flutter whatsoever. And I actually like how it feels. Let's see how the rates feel, because that's where the truth really lies, right? Okay, that's pretty good. Damn. Wow. Almost not much to be done here, so I'm gonna bring it in and I'm gonna start playing around with the PIDs, but like, damn, this flies well already. And just so you guys know, this is the F7, but it's only running 8 kilohertz. I'm not even running 32 kilohertz because apparently it's not compatible with my board. I don't know why it has the right gyro or anything, but I could not make it work. It's so windy, like you can't keep the door open because the wind pushes it against you. So I'm trying to recover the quad and it's just like, ah! Okay, so another thing to note is that these 32-bit USCs are using multi-shot, not D-shot at all. So unless you're really set on D-shot commands, my experience with multi-shot versus D-shot is that the performance-wise, it's pretty much the same. You cannot really tell. The only reason I use D-shot on a day-to-day basis is because I don't like having to calibrate my ESCs, so that just takes one step out of building. But honestly, this F7 is flying freaking great. Very little that I want to do to it here. So let's see. Let's take a look at the PID gains. So really what I'm going to do first, so it's still the 46P, 45I, and 20D on pitch, or sorry, on roll. On pitch we have 61P, 55I, and 20D, and then on yacht we have 60P and 55I. So what I'm going to do now is basically put I to 60 on all. So 60I, 60. I'm going to leave derivative as it is because it seems like it's a good value. It seems like it's working quite well. Now I am going to bump up roll to 60, and I'm going to bump pitch to 60. I'm going to leave yaw at 60 as well. So everything is at 60 right now. Let's see how it flies. I'm looking at two people that are heading out to go jogging right now in the park. It is minus 20. Yep. All right, here we go. Let's try it with the new 60, 60, 60 pretty much across the board here. Ha ha ha! Look at this! Fuck yeah. Oh, kind of got crazy there with the signal. I'm not sure what's going on here. Damn! By the way, it's windy as hell. The quad is holding up great against the wind. Oh, that was some wind right there, and somehow we still managed to squeak by. Let's do some testing here for prop wash. Minimal. This is exciting, boys. Yeah, it's getting windy, it's getting hard to fly here. Not sure why I'm having so much video issues with this too, because I fly with this setup all the time, which is basically just my Clearview station inside of the car, but today it's giving me some issues. Other than the video issues, this is freaking great, guys. It's flying fantastic. Oh, I'm gonna park it because, like, honestly, I don't really feel like I need to push it more than this. Whoops. Well, that was unexpectedly easy to tune with the F7 and the 32-bit ESCs. Let me just grab the guy here somewhere. Yeah, I'm impressed. I don't know why, but the 32-bit ESCs and F7 seem to be a very good combination. So now that has me wondering, is it the ESC or is it the flight controller? So I guess what I'm gonna have to do is get my hands on a few 32-bit ESCs and put it on some of my F4 builds and then do some testing there. I'm really curious as to what is making this quad fly just so smoothly. It could be the motors too, I'm not sure. They might be a little bit less beat up than the other guy there, but man, oh man, I am impressed. This flies like when we first got into PT1 and 3.2 was like, I don't know why, but it was just right, just magical. It flies just like that. You saw there, I did a full throttle range test and it didn't flutter, it didn't give me any sort of weird twitches or anything. It just flew and it felt nice. It felt super locked in. Better even than the F4 that we just spent like 6 or 7 batteries tuning. So that's definitely something to think about. That's definitely something to keep in consideration, and I will be testing more on this 32-bit ESC thing because maybe there's something to it. So guys, I hope this helped you guys. Just remember that the same rules of tuning apply. So if you know how to tune Betaflight 3.1 or 3.2, it's the same damn thing. This is just an added new filter, so it helps clean up some of that noise, and I have noticed that it does fly better on biblades for me. So I'd be curious to see some of you guys test it out and give me some of your reports on how Betaflight 3.3 and Kalman filters have been working for you. Now, one last note that I wanted to leave you guys with before we part ways is very intelligent fella on Reddit corrected me on some of this Kalman stuff and explained some stuff that I didn't quite understand before, but I do now. Basically what he was saying is that for Kalmans and fast Kalmans to work appropriately, they need to have a model of the system. So somebody has to program a model of how the system works for the Kalman to be fully effective and act like a full real-time filter. So what this gentleman was telling me basically is that what Kalman really is at this implementation is that it's pretty much a glorified low-pass / PT1 filter. So maybe it's a little bit faster than those guys, but it's not the true real-time Kalman filter like it is applied on things like GPS and so on and so forth. Partly because our hardware is probably not capable of running a model simulation at the same time and doing all this other stuff. Now, I could be wrong with what I'm saying. If you guys want to correct me, please drop a comment on the line. I will make sure to answer, and I'll make sure to expose even more information to you guys at the next video. So guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I have cool build videos coming next, and I think that's going to be it for Kalman filters until I get my hands on some more 32-bit ESC. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.